Chicago. Thank you so much for being here. Today's topic is going to be really, really, a little bit intense. If you're ready, if you're ready for it, then pull up. Tell your friends to pull up. I see Tino Tender joining on LinkedIn Audio. Welcome, welcome. We also have LinkedIn video on. We have YouTube on. I have Clubhouse, Facebook. What else? Yeah. Welcome everyone for joining. Yes, I hope everybody is doing really well. So today I'm diving into this forward looking conversation around your future. Are you working on your future or are you working on your past? And it's this attempt to shift us into a future minded, you know, energy. When I say energy, you need energy to do work. You need time, you need focus to achieve specific goals for your life, right? We need at everything needs attention, right? Your future needs attention, your future needs prioritization, your future needs energy, your future needs investment, your future needs time. It needs a lot, right? Because the future needs you to build it. You're going to build the future. It doesn't just happen. It's not something in a faraway land that you're reaching out for, right? The future is not something that is beyond. Your future is within you, okay? Your future is always within you. Your next level is within you, but you have to activate it. You have to give it time, you have to give it energy, you have to give it focus. You have to give it what it needs to mature, to expand, to become. And so if you don't invest the time, energy and resources to creating the future of your dreams, will it happen? Hey, Miss Lucy, good to see you. I see more people joining. Byron, Belorium Williams, welcome to the space. We're talking about this concept of where is your time, energy, resources going to? Are you holding on to the past, right? Or are you investing into the future? Are you building the future of your dreams? So, this question today, the topic of today, I could have asked it in different ways. I could have presented it in different ways. It means different things to different people, but it's this challenge of where is your time, energy, and resources going? What are you putting it into, right? If you audit the last 24 hours, okay, trust me, whatever you did the last 24 hours is going to influence what today looks like for you and what tomorrow is going to look like too, right? So this concept of procrastination, limiting beliefs, self-sabotage, all of these things, if you don't confront them, if you don't address them, if you don't listen, fight for your hopes, dreams, and aspirations, these things are keeping people where they are. While the world is moving forward, while the world is thinking about the future, while Elon Musk is taking us to space, while Jeff Bezos is doing his thing with Blue Origin, while Metaverse is metaversing us, guys, the future is designed by visionaries, those who believe that the future they can create, the one they create is the one everybody lives in. Metaverse is metaversing us. Did you see this week? Visionaries create the world you and I live in. And in a very personal way, you are responsible for designing your own life. No, listen, the future you give yourself is the one you would enjoy. The future you invest in is the one you are going to eat and taste of. Many people, listen, let me tell you, in the old world, yes, we are in the new world now. Welcome to 2023. In the old world, we heard our parents say, until I retire. They spent 40, 50 years waiting for a future that they could retire and settle. They said until they get to a particular age, they will not enjoy vacation. peace of mind, rest. They told themselves that, and they did it, and we saw them do it. Some other people will say, listen, I want to retire at 45. And the person would work for 20 good years, save a lot of money, and 45, they will start vacationing. You'll be seeing their pictures on Instagram. Whatever you say you want, okay, is what you will create. And we are living at a time now where you have so much options. Listen, guys, the world of, this world, this 2023 world is telling you, you don't have to create a future that looked like the past. You can literally build whatever you want to build. It's been always that way, but we have more tools today to do it. Listen, you have more tools. We have access to more tools right now to build whatever you want to build. But guess what? Many people will still not do that. Why? Because there's a story that keeps people in the past. It's always a story. Whatever you believe, you become. So let's dive deeper into it. Again, if you have appetite for deep reflection, deep insights, then welcome. I'm Coach Toyin. I'll give you that, because your wealth is within you. You dig for it. Gold, silver, precious metals, diamond. Listen, I had this acquaintance that is a diamond miner. And one day he said, Toy, do you want me to mail you a raw diamond? I was like, please, 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 please don't do that. I don't know the source of this, your diamond. Don't do that. But he was trying to make a point. He said, most people, if you give them raw diamond, they will throw it away. That was what he said. So if you don't have an eye for precious stones, you will consider it to be natural, just sand on the surface. Many people are doing the same thing to their future. God gave you an idea for a business. You don't know the potential that idea holds. So you discount it, you throw it away, you don't do anything about it. Right? That idea that is a promise of a better tomorrow, that your future self needs it and is asking you to invest in it today. Many people, they have a glimpse of that future, but guess what? They throw it away. They discount it. They don't value it enough to invest in it. The future you value is the one you're going to invest in. So if I keep saying, Toyin Umesibi Academy, Entrepreneurs Academy, Toyin Umesibi Academy, for those who want to build business growth, achieve business growth and success, listen, access 300. Listen, I'll keep saying this. I'm not stopping. This is my own body of work. I've built for my own future. Listen, this is it. Listen, if you don't, you're never going to get tired. If you're getting tired, listen, more new generations are coming. I will keep repeating this, because the biggest gap that I have seen in the marketplace is the lack of curriculum that will help people transition from employee mindset to entrepreneur's mindset. Right? And so the failure rate is very, very high. And my school addresses that head on. School for entrepreneurship. And listen, every single day new entrepreneurs are being born. I will keep screaming this from the mountaintop. You need my school if you want to learn how to build a business, right? Build growth skill faster, a world-class business. You need it. If you see that in your future, consider my school. Because the future, right, that you saw, let's play this back. Let's think about the past. You are where you are today because once upon a time, you believed in today. You're a doctor today, you're a lawyer today, you're an engineer today, you're an accountant today because several years ago, you saw yourself carrying a stethoscope. You saw yourself, people asked you, who do you want to become? You said doctor. And then what? They sent you to school, or you sent yourself to school. You invested years learning what it took or what it would take to become a doctor. You invested. That's why you're here today. And I'm also saying it's exactly the same thing. You have to repeat that process again if you want to go to the next level. Yeah? The process hasn't changed. The steps to success has not changed. Don't listen to people telling you content consumption, content consumption, content consumption. Listen, you can consume all the content you want. It doesn't mean that you're building your future. Mr. Byron, welcome to the stage. How are you today?
I am doing good. I'm listening to Coach Toy, and I want to say, we talked, I think, last week. Toying has very quick response time. Her school is amazing. Yes, she has a good school. But that being said, I would like to say, just like doctors, lawyers, or whatever they went for in life, it was their ordained destiny. I used to always tell my sister I was a king. She laughed at me. The question
Hmm.
is, who's laughing now? We're,
Hmm.
we're bringing about positive change, but you must first believe in yourself.
Hmm. Okay, you said a whole lot there. You said a whole lot there. Part of this journey is that many of the dreams you carry within you, other people may not see it yet, right? Other people, because it takes visionaries to believe in a future that is not tangible, that you cannot touch. I've shared before that many times people focus on the five senses: what they can feel, what they can see, what they can taste, what they can smell, what they can listen to. And that's what determines where people are investing their time, energy, and resources. They are moved by senses, okay, physical senses. But your future, you cannot physically guys, this is the gap. The future we are talking about, you cannot touch it yet. Okay, you cannot see it physically yet. You cannot smell it physically. You cannot hear it physically, right? You cannot experience it with your physical senses. But here's the key: you can experience it, right, within your heart and your mind. It's a soul assignment. So if you don't quiet yourself, if you are somebody that is easily moved by physical senses, I want to see Toyin, to prove this to me. I can't prove anything to you. You have to face it. You have to believe in your own future. Many people are looking for validation, external validation, before they invest in that future. Guys, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. It doesn't work that way. So when you present your future to small thinkers or small minded people that cannot think big, and you are presenting a big idea, a big concept, and you're taking it to people who haven't taken themselves where you say you are going, they can't see it. Listen, guys, you are the one stressing yourself and stressing other people. Leave people alone. Okay, keep bothering people to show you the way that they haven't gone on, to take you on a journey they've never been to. Guys, what's that about? Right? So only people, this is what I have found and experienced, only big thinkers that have done big things can actually wrap their heads and mind around big ideas, and they are the ones that can invest in it for you. That's why we talk about the investor mindset. This is what I have experienced, that if you take your big ideas and you present it to people who are big thinkers, big doers. Hey, good to see you. Amen, coach. I see you. Right? Only those, okay, who can dream big, who can see big things, will help you achieve big results in your life. I am telling you, if you sit at the feet of people who have done big things in life, they will help you. It's like this concept of, let's say you're carrying a baby and you want to give birth to a baby, and you are going to, who are you going to take your baby to? Is it not somebody that knows how to do this stuff? Is it not somebody that has given? Imagine taking yourself, baby, to somebody that just graduated from midwifery. The person has never helped anybody to birth any child before, and you put yourself at risk. This is what is going on. People are so putting themselves at risk. Your idea, your future also needs protection. Do you realize that? Do you realize that? Don't jeopardize your future by exposing it to people who have zero skills, zero, nothing to offer you to support you. Instead, they might even kill your dreams. Oh, nobody has ever done that before. Oh, why are you stressing yourself? Your job is really good. Why are you trying to build a business? These are the killers. These voices, these words. They are on assignment to eradicate newborn ideas in the world. Protect that future, and that future is tied to your ideas. A business, no matter how big, all the businesses you see today, Fortune 500 businesses, listen, no matter how big they are, no matter how much you admire them, they all began, okay, as the seed of an idea. They all began as the seed of an idea, and they were planted in the hearts. Okay? They were planted in the hearts of somebody who believed in them. When you believe is how you plant your idea. If you don't believe it, it's not yours. Until you believe it, then it becomes yours. The idea you believe in becomes yours. The future you say yes to is the one that you own, that you personalize. And if you don't personalize it, it's not yours. It belongs to somebody. It will find somebody else. Because every idea is looking for the perfect home. Okay? It's like the parable of the sower. The word will come. You can be a millionaire. You can do this. You can be a governor. You can be a president. You can be... These things are coming at you. The possibility of your future. They are coming at you every single day. Every single day. God is telling you what could be yours. Every day. Right? Every day, I'm telling you. You may not be listening to that voice. You may be tuned. Remember the 5 senses. You may be tuned to external, trying to please people, trying to do this for people. You are tuned externally. That's the past. You see these senses, right? What you're experiencing now is what you created and invested in yesterday, and what you're going to experience tomorrow. Okay? Is going to be based on what you do today. And I'm going to dive deeper into several things now that always stands in the way and how you can remove barriers to your success. But let me give Mr. Byron. Do you want to respond to what I just shared? Hi,
Yes.
Kabbalah guys. See you. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Toy. This is just to go along with you when you said you have to believe in yourself. And I want to say this to everybody: wherever there's someone trying to break your joy, they're afraid of what you have the potential of becoming. Don't ever let anyone break your joy, because you are all special. God has created very talented people.
Thank you for that. I believe and I agree with you. This is why I do this work. You are special. You are wealthy. You are talented. You are gifted. You've got what it takes, right? Here's what actually happens. I use a lot of analogy. So let me give you one. A computer, there's hardware, there's software. There's hardware, there's software. The hardware is God's gift to you, God's investment in you. The hardware, the person that you are. When you were born, you came here as a child. You had nothing to do with who you are today. Do you know that? Right? Your natural gift, natural talent. Listen, you didn't give yourself that. God gave you that. You did nothing to deserve that gift. But the software, that knowledge is on you. God will not do that work for you. That's why it says people perish for lack of knowledge. If you decide not to pursue knowledge, if you decide not to educate yourself, if you decide not to go to school, if you decide not to show up, don't blame God. Don't. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. If you decide not to pursue excellence, it's you. I will listen, look in the mirror and talk to yourself. If you decide not to show up, if you decide not to read books, if you decide not to take classes, You wanted to be a doctor. You have everything it takes. You do, but you decide not to load, not to invest in acquiring the knowledge that will allow you to perform the duties of a doctor. And you are talking to God. God will say, listen, that knowledge is here on planet Earth. It's not in heaven. It's right here. People have invested time, energy, and resources for generations to uncover deep insights, right? They put it in books, and then they create schools that is dedicated for empowering and training the next generation so that you will not go searching for that same knowledge. And you're telling me you won't show up to school. You won't show up so that you can be loaded, upgraded. And I tell you today is another chance for you to upgrade your programming. You see, Microsoft will give you 1995. Today, everybody is upgrading every day, except some people. Everybody is upgrading their programming, their mindset, their skill set every single day, pursuing it, except some people. Some people sitting down and say, "Is the government? Is this?" Blaming people, blame yourself, guys. Look in the mirror. You listen. I've told you, if you have the appetite for this, look in the mirror. Tell yourself, stop sabotaging your future. Stop standing in the way of everything that is yours. All things are yours. If you want it, go get it. Let me welcome Mr. Kenneth to the room, to the stage. Also, Lucy, come up. Laura, Ria, thank you. Come up if you are available as well. Kenneth, how are you? Go ahead. Sorry, we can't hear you. I see you've on mic, but we can't hear you. Try again.
Hello?
Now I can. Yes, good. Uh-oh, we lost him there. I'm sure he's going to be back. Hi, Kenneth, come back up. We could hear you the other time. Come back up. Raise your hand again. Yes, let's try this one more time. Let's try this. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, hello. Yeah, good evening. How are you, please?
Good evening. How are you? We're good.
Awesome. It's good to hear your voice again. Good to be here. And thank you for the consistency, always dishing out knowledge. As I entered the room, I felt to share this with someone.
Go ahead.
The moment we are 40 years old, we feel that some people say, oh, life begins at 40. Some people say full at 40 is full forever. Some people say midlife crisis and all that. But if somebody is going to live for 80 years, 40 is just 50% of the journey. So there may be somebody out there who's hearing this thing, the thoughts you are sharing, learning, striving, advancing life. And they're thinking to themselves, I mean, my time is up. But in reality, the morning is when you wake up. There's a saying in my place that whenever you wake up, that is your morning. So that means if I choose today to wake up, I can boldly say good morning. Like those who woke up at 72 and decided
Oh, I think you're
at KFC. Something dawns on that I have to get this done, right? No matter how old one feels in his body, there is still something one can do. I just want to share that and continue to say thank you for being consistent. We are available. We are following, sometimes secretly, sometimes silently, and you are making an impact. Thank you.
And thank you for that. I don't know are you still with us? The connection. I don't know what's wrong with the app, but we heard everything you said. At least I did. Wow.
Awesome.
Wow. How do I unpack what you just said? Is very, 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 very powerful. And I think age in of itself, right, is a cultural construct. I don't think it's not a spiritual construct. It's a remember I talked about the five senses. Age, what does age mean? Whatever you think it means, that's what it means. People would say it's just a number, and truly it is a number when you think about the spiritual side of things. Look at the Bible, Abraham, Moses, like these guys, even in their 80s, it doesn't mean that they can't do what God wants them to do. Right? So I think certain times, even how you perceive age is a story you tell. Is whatever, listen, whatever you believe, whatever is within you is informing how you're operating and what you can unlock in life. Because some people will see age, right, as a limiting factor. In fact, either way, some will think they're too old. Do you know some will think they're too young? That's why Bible says, let no man despise your youth, because there's actually another story some people will tell themselves when they are 16, 18, or the society tells them they are dreaming big dreams, but yet they believe in their society that is not their time. Do you know that there are some society that will be whispering all these lies and telling you 25 you are too young, 30 you are too young, 35 you are too young, 40 you are too young, this you are too young, and you too, you believe them. You believe them, you believe all these lies, these stories, and so you delay your own future because you are waiting for an age that they say is ideal. Who said that is ideal?
Toya,
Yes, sir.
I like to make you think. You said,
You like to make me think. I like to make you think too. Go on.
you said concerning age, who said, for some people, it's God's ordained decision, because if I would have started out in who I knew I was in my 30s, I wasn't ready for it. I was too much into the world. Now, as an adult, I'm more stable mind. I'm more programmed to do what I must do. So sometimes it's age that makes a difference, and it's God's ordained.
Actually, here's where I differ. Age is not, you said the key word. Age is not the issue. The issue is preparation. How soon do you prepare for everything that is yours? If Beyonce's parents delayed and told her until she's 30, they won't take her to dancing lessons. Right? Actually, how soon you put yourself through your process of maturation is what determines how soon you become who you're supposed to be. So some people can take 30 years, 40 years, 50 years to become. I'm telling you, some people can give it 5 years and become. So it's not age. Your process, you can extend it or you can compound it. That's a decision. And society also has to do with this. You want to build a business. You don't want to learn. You don't want to subject yourself to a process. It will take a long time. It will take longer.
Catch you off guard.
No, you didn't catch me. Sorry?
I cannot seem to catch you off
No,
guard.
don't try. This is not a gotcha engagement. No, don't try. We are all having a conversation, and everybody, I believe, is benefiting from this engagement. So I appreciate I appreciate the questions you are asking. And as I process it, I'll give you my perspective. I'm not asking anybody to accept everything I accept. I'm just saying, let's all think together. Let's all pull up. Yeah, pull up, pull your chair, pull your popcorn. Let's all reason together. We are all reasoning together. That's the assignment of today. Consider your ways, consider your thoughts, consider your emotions, consider your behavior, and then assess it. Are you doing what you ought to be doing? Assess yourself. Don't wait for anybody to assess you. Check in with your soul. Are you investing in your future? So this is a conversation. It's like, let's pull up. You come with your thoughts. I come with mine. You can type, you can ask questions. Let's engage and reason. Because this is what we now need now. The whole world is telling you not to think. They are telling you consume content. Content is now the new drug that is numbing people and stopping people from really seriously considering their future. So this session is for us to consider. Let's think together. Let's explore. So, yes, I am not the only one involved in this conversation. You ought to grab your pen, grab your paper, wherever you are in the world. Just ask yourself these basic questions. Just ask yourself. I'm not there with you, I can't see you, but we can reason. So, I am saying, from what Mr. Byron is saying, your process can take longer or can take shorter, and you actually collectively, societies affect how soon people achieve success. The traditional education system, that the design of your school system also determines the level of education you're going to get. No doubt about that. So the society is responsible for part of this process, but you are responsible for majority of it, particularly when you've gone through that foundational stuff the school system can give you. Wealth creation, wealth building, education is all on us. The government didn't promise you any of that. They didn't. Right? So imagine Beyonce, if her parents didn't see her talent, or these Williams sisters. Imagine if their father didn't take it upon himself to give his life energy and to fight for the future of his two girls. Would we know them? Would they have arrived by today? No. If they didn't have somebody guiding them, coaching them, teaching them, inspiring them, motivating them, challenging them, would they be the people we know today? The answer is no. Who are we kidding? Let's not kid ourselves. Listen, let's not be talking all this blah blah blah. Let's come home. They were discovered, they were invested in, they also showed up. Imagine if somebody wants to invest in you and you don't show up. The coach will leave you alone. They also were coachable. So today we know them as winners. We see them as winners. Tiger Woods, when did he start playing golf? Young. Imagine if at 30 he started playing golf. Would he be Tiger Woods? The answer is no. Who are we kidding, guys? Because the process is the process. It doesn't care. If it is 30 years that it takes to be the winner and Olympic champion, it takes 30 years. So start your journey sooner. Run your race faster. Your future requires a process. The sooner you start it, the sooner you arrive. But imagine, many people are saying no until they are this age, until they are this. They're saying they don't have time. It's waiting for you, right? It's waiting for you. It's not, if you don't move, it doesn't move. If you don't invest in it, it doesn't get bigger. The day you wake up and you say today, that's when you start the process.
I agree with that, Toyin. Your process prepares your purpose because I've always loved politics, and for years I've always been dabbling with it. I've fought many major high-profile trials. This is what I'm meant to do, and now I'm accepting my destiny.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. And what usually happens is that many of these natural tendencies that we have could have been discovered at a very young age, right? Our natural giftings, our natural tendencies, because your wealth is usually tied to something that you do naturally, that and when that natural gift is not invested in, when it's not cultivated, when it's not nurtured, when it's not developed, right? Usually the society says abandon that, focus on survival, go get a job, right? That's the story of the day, that the job is more important, that survival is more important. And so not every society or family, you know, is ready or willing or able to invest in your natural gifting to help you nurture it and grow it and become. So no matter, I think that's the case for most people in the world. We were all conditioned to be employees, on and on and on. But I'm telling you, within you, if you will quiet yourself, that voice, even though it's been silenced, that voice is still speaking today. It's still speaking to people. Your love, your first love, whether you're a poet, you used to be a writer, right? You talked about loving politics. You will still continue to be drawn into the things that you love, your first love. If you give it more time, it will give you more of itself. It will reveal more of who you are or who you could be. So while you're still doing the job and sustaining livelihood, I encourage you, take time out. Take time out to listen. Yeah, let me give you an example. Okay, then maybe I'll give my own a little bit of my example. When I was younger, okay, I used to write a whole lot, and I used to give public speeches a lot. I'm telling you, like 9, 10, a lot. I used to be a bell ringer in my, we call it primary, the elementary school. I used to do a lot of like public speaking stuff. And then in my high school, I took on a major leadership role that I will address the school, address faculty, address principal at least twice every week. Twice every week. And every single day I ran and led the school. I'm telling you, like that's like maybe 14, 15, 16. I don't know. In my undergrad, I did a little. I'm just giving you as an example because the clues of your future, if you sit down, it's already there. It's telling you, it's pointing you, right? When I was in college, first degree undergrad, I did PR, public relations stuff for my department. I used to host a ton of events. Listen, I'm the one that will stand in front of the hall and getting the class excited. Woo! Listen, like, people talk about public speaking. Listen, I will make you make some noise. Yes, yes. I will listen. I will the entire auditorium will be like woo, vibrating. Young people, you scream, you shout. When somebody's coming to speak, I will introduce the person. Everybody like woo. That was me. You see? Yes. I also used to manage the bulletin, what we call bulletin board, articles, stuff that will be on the students board, blah blah blah. That was me. And then life happened. Came coming to America like Eddie Murphy. Coming to America, the immigrant story. Listen, you pack all of those stuff, you pack it, and you face survivor. You gotta eat, you gotta go to school, you gotta study. I came for my master's, and then you start, survival starts, keeping afloat starts. So I get it. But until years later, over a decade later, I forgot all of those things. Everything I just said, listen, I forgot all of them. Right? Because nobody is paying me to come and write a speech. Nobody was paying me to be speaking or writing or any of those things. Nobody. My first degree mathematics, second degree information system. Listen, they are paying me as SAP certified consultant, technology. Listen, I did that stuff and I loved it. I'm very good at it. By the way, technology background, mathematics, supply chain, logistics, no regret. All of these things combine and collide until my dad passed, right? When my dad passed, that activated like it brought me back home, right? Because for 10 years, more than a decade, I had left all of that history of who I was, the leadership side, writing, media, all of these things as a leader in my community, leader, this. Listen, you immigrant story, you let that stuff, it's just not part of your current until my dad passed. And then I had to activate it. I wrote a mini biography about my dad. I interviewed people. Once I went back and then I came back, I was like, whoa, time out. Time out. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And you rediscover yourself, at least. Not the survivor side of you. The person that you are, who I am. The daughter of my father. Yes, I'm the daughter of my father, or a daughter of a great man, a leader in his community. Listen, my maiden name or my father's name opens doors in certain places. Never mind all this. Oh my God, is this too much? Hopefully, it helps somebody to rediscover themselves and wake up.
Joy, I would like to say, you said you were back home when your dad passed. That's what I did when my mom was sick and when she passed.
Mm,
No matter what I was going for in life, we understand what we believe in without me even saying it. But that brings you back home and it opens you up to be the person you're supposed to be because I have one of my books in my mom's coffin with her.
mm. Yeah, and the reality is, at that point, you then have to confront a reality. Do you want to retrace your steps to pick your or authentic version up and start nurturing it? Or do you want to continue playing this game of survival? When was the last time you felt like you, in your power, in your fullness, in your audacity? When was the last time? When was the last time you stood courageously to do whatever your soul wanted without limiting beliefs? Because the limiting beliefs is a function of survival. It's a function of survival. All of these things, procrastination. You know why you procrastinate a lot? Because we don't want to take responsibility. Because the day you start working every day, creating, you will sweat a little bit. The day you start applying yourself to build a new, to upgrade, right? Now you know you are responsible for it. But until you are ready to be responsible for it, you keep procrastinating. You keep throwing it into tomorrow. And tomorrow, nothing happens.
Joy, I would like to say when you said, when are you ready to be the real you? Well, I decided to be the real me when I was called to my sister's house. My mom was dying. She was
Mm,
flatlined. I held her in my arms and
wow.
I sent everyone out the room except for my sister. And I held mom in my arms and said, I will not love no other woman more than I love you.
Mm,
God love us. But that factor I was going through, I was with my ex-wife. I was letting people control my love.
mm,
But mom died, it changed my life. No
mm,
longer allow any person to prevent my destiny.
mm. Whoo! Sorry for your loss. That's you see, these matters, they are deeper than all these things people are doing. This matters if you will allow your heart to breathe again, you know, if you will allow your soul to flow, your dreams to come alive, if you will just touch, if you will let, you know, if you will talk, if you will go there. It's not all this head calculation, because limiting belief is here, right? It's all this spinning around. It's the mind. Okay, an uncultured, untrained, uneducated mind will not support your heart. Your heart can dream, trust me. If you give your heart more room to expand, if you make room for your desires, for your hopes, for your aspiration, if you expand this side of you, not, first of all, let this one, this, if you've not trained your mind can kill what's in your heart. That's why training and education. Because here's what happens: if your heart says I want this and your mind says we can't do it, why? It's because you've not educated the mind. Because the mind is responsible for producing, it's responsible for producing the dreams and aspirations. Let me connect it and I'll start wrapping up. Your heart, okay, your heart is the place of affection, is the place of desire, is the place of hunger, is the place of faith, is the place of belief, is the place of possibility, right? Is the place where you have to nurture, is the ground, is the ground, is the ground. It has to be fertile, right? You have to believe, you have to nurture, you have to hope again, you have to expand it. Many people have shrunk desire right now to nothingness. You've locked yourself up. You don't let yourself dream again because the mind holds the key and has padlocked your heart. Collect the key back. I'm saying open your heart. Open all the gifts that you pack within you, that God has loaded into you, the talents, the hopes, the dreams, the ideas, the creativity, innovative mind. Listen, all of that thing, unpack it. Check it up again. Check it out. Right? Unpack it. Bring it out. Write it down. Get a pen. The hopes, dreams that lives with, give it voice. Write it down. Write the vision. Make it plain that he who reads it will run. Even you need to read your own vision so that you will run it. Even you must read what is locked in you. You have to write it down, read it again, and say, oh, you have to listen to your heart. Even you, write it for you. Get it out, bring it into the real world, and then read it. Read it. So the heart, okay, is the place where you believe again. You have to give it life. It needs to breathe. It needs to expand. It needs to be big thinking. Big thinking. You need to have a sense of possibility. I can do all things. All things are possible to them that believe. That's a function here. And then you need to bring your mind along. You need to bring your mind along on that journey. Like, think of your mind as a horse that if you don't rein it in, if you don't if you don't what do you call horses? Bridle. Bible talks about bridle your tongue, this, you eat the food of. Yes, your mind needs to be directed, coached, guided, so that it will get you everything you want in life. And when you don't train your mind, if you don't culture your mind, if you don't educate your mind, it is everywhere. That's why it will be telling you you cannot do this, you cannot do that. It's a mind that has not been trained how to do. You have to now train yourself how to do what you need to do to get everything you want. So if you leave your mind flying everywhere, scrolling and scrolling, this, a little that, a little that. Listen, confusion. Your heart is crying. We want to do this. Your mind is saying, let's scroll on TikTok. It's not fun. This is my sinister laughter, guys. I'm trying to, this is a win. I'm trying to say, check it. This is where we bring our mind back. This is where mindset, you bring your back. And also, you must train that mind. Your heart is saying you want to be a doctor, and you don't tell your mind, let's go to school. You don't say, read this book, and you're not telling your mind, let's go to the class. You want to build a business, you're not telling you that Toyin can teach us out, let's go to Toyin's school. Meanwhile, the mind will say, let's go on YouTube, let's go and be scrolling on Instagram. Instagram will teach you. Really? It's year 2020. Has it taught you? The year we're in the fourth quarter. All the hours you've already given social media. Alpha, what did it give you back in return? This is the practical side of these things. The practical side is what we do to our mind. Education, enlightenment, consciousness, right? Relationships. That you are also responsible for, the software. So what usually happens is that when you don't align your mind to the desires of your heart, this is what happens slowly, where people give up. The mind tells you give up. You give up. Because you have to also expose your mind to a sense of possibility. You have to learn. You need instruction, guidance, coaching, help, support, so that you can access the education that will help you achieve everything you want to achieve. So that relationship within our hearts, right, and our mind, your mind can be living in the past, and your heart is trying to take you to the future. Your heart can be dreaming. Let me wrap up that, and then I'll give you time. Our hearts can be longing for a better tomorrow. But if you don't bring your mind along by upgrading it, right? By also upgrading your mind to think about that future, to access the knowledge that will help you get to that future. Usually, the mind is a condition of the past, and so it's still dragging you back and leaving you behind. This is the reason we need next level coaching, next level education, so that our mind can catch up, right? So it can catch up and so support the future we want. Let me bring Mr. Byron. Yes, go ahead, please, and then I'll start wrapping up today. Go ahead. Mr. Byron? Yes. Oh, we can't hear you. Okay, now go on.
I'm going to share with you guys something very powerful in the scripture. You were speaking of confusion. Even the bloodline of Jacob was confused. It's in Psalms 121 through 131, the words above it. This is what they say. Alpha, give me the key. Bazuzan, which is saying, Father, give me the key in your hand. Let me remember Let me remember who I am. So much pain. You say I could trust in you. Kasada, Jepta Yopa, let me remember. That means to chastise the Jacob's bloodline. This happened when King David's child was going to die because he had created the child with Bathsheba. So he had to go to God with a repentant heart in order to be forgiven and remember where the bloodline came from. Because every powerful bloodline in the Bible came from the tribe of Jacob.
You know, wow. You know, what language were you reading? You were translating. What language was that? What language were you reading it in and then translating to English?
That is the language that the two God's children use. God is working. It's really raining here now. I've told the truth. I've seen the Dead Sea Scrolls. They're not hid. They're in the Bible. They have beautiful pictures. But God will only allow certain people to see those things. The ones that are chosen.
I mean, it is one thing I would say for sure. I mean, I know some people are spiritual, some are not, those who are joining us. But for those who are spiritual, right, many of these concepts about the future, the past, the present. Listen, let me tell you something. You see this watch, you know, your time, this time, okay, that we are all measuring, okay? This is humans trying to keep track of what God is doing. This watch. Your time, what is the time right now? Do you realize that this is a spiritual concept? The sun, the movement of the sun, moon, and stars, and the earth is what is influencing what time is. Do you realize that? That without this watch, the earth is also moving around the sun every 24 hours. Right? That God didn't need man's permission to be to be rotating to be rotating us, to be spinning. So whether you are moving or not, listen, the whole earth is spinning. Every 24 hours, it spins. The side of the earth that is exposed to the sun will see day, will experience day. The side of the earth that is away from the sun will be experiencing night. Whether you like it or not, the world doesn't revolve around you. Whether you like it or not, seed time, harvest time is not your determination. You don't determine it. Whether you like it or not, the principles of gravity is not your own making. Whether you like it or not, there are things happening around you that you have zero control over. Zero control over. Zero. The only thing you can control in this world is you. You can't control another human being. You can't control the earth. You can't control the sun. You can't control the moon. You can't control time. You can't control anything. The one thing you can control is you. And guess what? Many people abandon that one project and then they are attempting and making it their full-time job to be attempting to control the world. Listen, your governor, your mayor, your president, they are not within your control. They will do whatever they want to do. If you like, make it your full-time job to be complaining about them. Nobody, you cannot control anybody. And this is what messes up a lot of personal relationship. Husband trying to control wife trying to control. Really, the best thing you will get is a fake version of that person. The person will only play along. If you attempt to control and they don't want to walk away from you, the best version you will get is a fake version. They will play you, and you like to be played. Many people like to be played. So the one job, all through scriptures, you will see when God engages with you, it will be with you. He will call you out. He will challenge you. He will ask you questions. While somebody will be saying, oh, is this, they, them? Jesus will say, are you sure you want to be healed? Oh, when this happened, then this happened, then this. Jesus is still like, I'm here. You see, this relationship is you and I. Leave them alone. The woman at the well. Oh, is this, is it? God, Jesus said, you, let me address your matter. The person you are going home to, is that really your man? You see, we all make a business. We make other people's business our full-time job. And the one that is supposed to be your full-time job, many people abandon it. They control what they cannot control. And the one they can control, they leave it to go out of control. Right? Remember, I just said, bring your heart, your mind into submission. Bring your mind, bring it along on this journey by educating it, by exposing it, by teaching it, by nurturing it, so that it can help you fulfill the desires of your heart. You must control. Otherwise, this stuff, it likes being pleasured, entertained, dance, reels. You see, so the whole world can manipulate you, right? Because your mind is a subject of control. If you don't control it, listen, the media will control it. If you don't control your mind, if you don't bring it home and put it to use in support of this future, listen, you allow external voices to tell you who to be. And at the end of the day, your value determines what you identify with and your identity. So if the media can control and tell you who you need to be, they will influence your value. And all of a sudden, once they can tap into your value and shape your value, and you identify with this new story, your money, time, and attention and focus will go where culture says you should go. So they tell you a shoe is more important, a bag is more important, physical things are more important, and yet your mind that you should be educating, your heart that you ought to be protecting, your relationship that you ought to be cultivating, you abandon it all. And then you spend all your time, all your energy following culture, following they, them. And suddenly you arrive where you didn't want to arrive. Don't be an object of control. When we don't do this work to bring ourselves back home, when we don't do this work to prioritize our own priorities, you become the person that supports other people's priorities. You will use your time, energy, and resources to power other people. And your mind is your own gift. It's the factory for your own future. Use it to create the future you want. And when you don't use it, other people will use it. Other people will have need of it. If you don't know what to do with your time, if you don't know what to do with your money, if you don't know what to do with your energy, trust me, that stuff, nobody wants it to grow to waste. They will keep you occupied. Netflix and chill, Instagram is there, all these apps are there. Trust me, use social media, don't let it use you. There are good things that you can use it to do. But most people are being used by it. And when you give your attention, energy to these things, right? Ultimately, they will shape value system. They will shape your value. And once they can attack and tell you what to value, your identity goes with you. You identify. You become what you value. If you value A, B, C, D, your money will go there, your time will go there, your attention will go there. And so if your value is not shaped by the future you are working towards, you're not going to give, you'll be giving your time to these things, and then you'll be saying, oh, I know I should start a business. Oh, I know I should join Toyin's Academy. Do you know how many, people have told me that? Do you know how many people will say to me, I know your academy, the Entrepreneurs Academy, is where I need to be. But, you see, that but, go and write, is what you have to interrogate. Right? That but. Because everything, the time, energy, and resources that you ought to be putting where you need to be, that is tied to your future, where are you putting it? Is it tied to your past? So until you rescue, until you prioritize that future, and you sit squarely and say, today, not tomorrow, today. You actually have to have that conversation. Until you rescue, you fight for your dreams, you fight for your future, and you say, I'm going to give my future what it needs today. If your future is hungry, if you're hungry for it, you have to invest in it now. So when people keep saying tomorrow to me, I'm like, guys, that same time, that same money, that same resource is going somewhere. It's already going somewhere. Either way, that they say, oh, you know this, guys. Either way, that money you are spending it, you're going to spend it. It's more, remember those students, right? The child, daddy will give them money for school, they will spend it. I think about guy said that bot is stopping more than they realize. Oh, it's Kobala guy. Listen, I need to bring you up. I need to find a way of bringing you up. You've gone through your process and you're still on your process. Mr. Byron, go on.
One thing I would like to say is what King Solomon said best. When God said, I'll give you anything, money or anything, he said, I just wanted wisdom. If you give 10% of your time due to the God-given wisdom God has blessed you with, the rest will follow. Just like King Solomon. We have to live by the Bible. The Bible is being fulfilled. If we do what's approved in God's eyesight, he'll bless us with everything else.
Yeah, however, though, because I want to remain practical, in the practical world, most people do not know the value of wisdom and knowledge. So they don't seek it out, they discount it. They don't seek out mentors, they don't pursue coaches, they don't chase. Listen, success is tied to knowledge and skills. There is no way. Remember, I said there are so many things in the world you cannot control. I did not make this up. I didn't put in. I'm not the one that wrote in the Bible that people perish for lack of knowledge. I'm not the one. Do you understand? I'm just saying, study to show yourself approved. Study the world. You will soon realize that this whole world is sitting on words, the word of God, like word, thoughts. Thoughts rule the world. Ideas rule the world. Those who discount knowledge will not be able to do what their heart is crying for. The distance between you and everything you want, you have to close it. It's a knowledge gap. It's a knowledge gap. And not all knowledge is the same. Not all knowledge is equal. The knowledge to become an accountant, if you acquire it, you become an accountant. The knowledge to be a carpenter, if you learn how to play with wood, you will learn it. The knowledge of engineering, if you expose yourself to it, you become it. The knowledge of neurosurgeon, whatever they call that, if you study human brain, you know it more than us. What it means is that what you know, you know. What you don't know, you don't know. What you know will determine what you can do. What you don't know will determine what you cannot do. So I cannot claim to be a pilot. I have not invested any time to study anything about a plane. So I'm not out here telling you I will fly you to Kalamazoo. Truly, there's a place called Kalamazoo in Michigan. I'm not telling you that I would help you take care of your teeth. I'm not a dentist. I didn't study dentistry. I didn't invest in the knowledge of dentistry. I didn't claim that I can help you balance your checkbook. I haven't invested to learn what it takes to balance a checkbook. So I'm not out here promising you anything. What you can promise the world is what you have studied, what you have handled, what you understand. That's all you can offer in the world. That's what you can offer yourself and offer other people. The gap between you and what you want is a knowledge gap. It's a knowledge gap. And it's not, oh, I have a degree in this. I've told you my degrees. I have 2. My husband has 3. He's a PhD. Listen, your degree exposed you to whatever knowledge you sought after. Now, if you want to do something else that is outside your knowledge field, you see, that is beyond you, you have to go in search. You have to expand. You have to now increase your capacity, your knowledge capacity. The day you want to do something you haven't studied, that's where the struggle, that's the borderline of stress, struggle, failure. You know, when people say failure, is because until you open yourself up, right, to more knowledge in that field, in that space, the struggle will continue. So that's why we have to close knowledge. There's nothing you cannot do in the world if you give time to studying it. If you say you listen, Elon Musk, they prove these things to us, right? Bill Gates, Elon Musk, these people prove it to us. Bill Gates will start as a computer, then dedicate himself to be studying biology, immunology, this vaccine. The human mind cannot be caged. It cannot be caged, but you can cage it by not exposing it. But if you give yourself, if you say you want, there's nothing you want to learn in this world today. If you say, I want to learn this, and you apply yourself and you invest time, energy to study it, you become it. And if you don't study it, you don't dedicate time, you will still continue to be lost. And many people are lost today, confused. They are here, they are there, they are here, scattered all over the internet. Instead of focusing, coming home, bring your mind back home. Bring yourself back home. Don't be scattered. You are following 10,000 people. Your heart is in 10,000 dimensions. All you need is bring yourself home. Bring your energy, bring your power back home. Own your heart, own your future. Don't expose it unnecessarily. It's like how many cooks in the kitchen? Don't allow different people to be cooking and telling you branding is this, mine, this is this, this is this. Come home, find a space and study. Follow the process. I have a process that my students go through. The accelerator, 10 weeks process, and then supported by other classes, advanced classes. You will spend 10 weeks to follow my process. It's not overnight. Mindset, skill set, branding, marketing. Follow. I have my own process. I invite you to access it. Right? The business roadmap to business growth and success. It's a process. And when you follow the process, you graduate from the process. That's your next level, next dimension. So many people that don't want to go through a process, listen, everybody's everywhere on coach, like, don't make your mind be everywhere. This is what confusion is. Confusion is that you cannot bring yourself back to complete a task. If you cannot bring yourself home to focus, it's like mathematics. If you cannot solve this equation, you are here, you are there, you are here, you are there, you don't have the answer, it creates a lot of internal stress. But if you can just let go of all this here, there, this, that, and just bring yourself home, calm down, come home, bring your force here, apply yourself now into this moment. This is where impact is. Your impact is to be felt now, not tomorrow. Stop procrastinating. When you bring your energy, yourself, anything you do will be a force. You will achieve bigger results if you can bring your entire being behind now. Like, decide now, work now, do this thing now. This is how you live life. If you can live life in now, you become successful. You'll be achieving greater results than anybody. because you are bringing your force into this moment you can impact. The only moment you can impact is now. The only moment you can do work is now. See my hands moving. This is the only moment that matters. You can't transport yourself into the future and be doing like this in the future. No, the future is not in your hands. What is in your hands is what you do right now. And so what happens is people abandon right now, and they are attempting to be in the future. You create the future by what you do today, by what you do with now. Now is the most important moment ever. Everything you do with now is what will unlock success for you. Now, every day. Like now, everything is now. Time is now. Time is now. If you can discipline yourself and start practicing this thing, you will change your life. The only thing you can influence is now. The only thing you can create is in now. The only time that you can drive impact is now. What you do now, the email you send now, okay? What you do right now, the newsletter you do right now, everything that you do right now is what will create what is next. And so when you abandon now and you are telling God, give me tomorrow, tomorrow will come and show up as now. You look at it again, you're like, you don't like it. You say tomorrow again. Tomorrow, that next tomorrow comes, it will still come as now. So those who abandon now will not create, will not produce. Productivity will be zero. Because productivity is in now. Yes, sir.
If we do not, this is a beautiful world. Don't ever stop learning. I was a government contractor in landscaping. My company was called 10% Back Landscaping. I was a credit repair person. I'm a carpenter. I am also getting the certificates for my company to be called 10% Back Legal Services, and I'm doing all of this for free because God has just blessed me in so many ways, and I just want to give back to society. But whatever you do, don't stop learning. There's so much knowledge out there.
Yes. And I'll take it a little bit step further to say, put what you learn to work. Because we now have this world now where people, listen, knowledge alone will make you feel smart, but it doesn't. If you don't use it, nothing changes. You can read 1,000 books on how to fish. If you don't take action, you still cannot fish. You can read 1,000 books on how to lose weight. If you don't do the work, you will not lose 1 pound. You can go to 1,000 basketballs. If you don't undo your own basketball, listen, you cannot still do the work. You can go on YouTube and watch 1,000 videos of other people doing their work. If you don't do yours, you still cannot get the results they are getting. This is the error of the day. Too much knowledge. In fact, that's why I say there's useful knowledge, there's useless knowledge. Useful, you can put it to use. Excuse me. You can put the knowledge to use and get results. Useless. Listen, it says the word use it less. Use it less. It cannot do anything for you. So some people, because the traditional education system makes people believe that getting A on theory, because you can memorize and we can regurgitate it back, you're smart, you got A. Real life is practical. Success is practical. Nobody cares how much book you've read. You see this future we're talking about? Read the right thing. You read useful information you can put to use. Putting it to use is the game changer. Faith without works is dead. Faith without works, without working, zero. You get nothing. Listen, from January to December, you can be on social, you can be ChatGPT, you can be consuming content all you want. If you don't practice that knowledge, you're still an amateur. But people feel smart. Book knowledge makes us feel smart. They gave us A. You see, they were testing our IQ. You know, people who are smart, watch out. Watch out for this thing. This message is for you. IQ, absolutely up there. The world is coming for you. That your IQ, they will load up with content so much that it begins to bog you down. Now you can't move. You are weighted with all kinds of stuff that is not digestible. And so you wake up tomorrow and you're still saying, what do I do next? Because what you actually need is direction, instructions, guidance. It's so simple. That's why my school is there, Toyin Umesibi Academy. What you actually need, if you want to learn how to build a world-class business, is not 1 year on social media. After a year, it doesn't mean you still know what branding, market, how to use all these things. It doesn't. I'm just calling these things out. Particularly the smarter you are, the more you have to watch out for this dangerous phenomenon happening, where you are being loaded, you are being told to consume massive amounts of content that is useless towards the future you want. You want to be a pilot, you are seeing dancers all day, comedians all day. Please, how is that going to help you we become a doctor, a pilot? You are giving 4 hours scrolling. Every 5 minutes. Listen, I know what it is. I do it at night, not during the day. You see, that's also the danger. The hours of the day, daytime that we ought to be working, creating our future, people are giving it to content. Listen, me at night, when I have fed my family, I am now done for the day. I've done my work. Listen, see me on the bed. I will do it with you because I'm about to sleep. That's when entertainment, I will entertain myself and sleep. Not during the day. Not during the day. Not during the day. We've forgotten this thing. Daytime, work, sleep time, chill. But today, people do a little here, midday, a little this, a little this. Before you know it, 4 or 5 hours. You've given the time you ought to be using to build. That's why, listen, I'm a prolific writer. I'm extremely active on social media. But trust me, every now and then you will see me release things I'm working on privately. My TV show, my event, my school, my academy. This, I'm sure people will go, Toyin, when did you do it? It's because, listen, I will use social media. I will not let it use me. I'm present. I'm using it now.
That is amazing. This group is called "Are You Working on Your Future and Past?" I have good friends from the past, dear friends, and I want to say to President Biden, he's listening. Every member of Congress, the world is listening. President Biden, thank you for stepping aside and giving me my seat. And you and Hunter will be part.
What does President Biden listen? Okay, let's not make this political. This is part of my own message. The people you are mentioning, well, okay, let me just let me stay off. Let's just leave that off this. Let's leave that off this.
Political.
Let's just remove it, because that stuff is one of the biggest distractions in this whole world. So that's why I try to stay off it. I try to stay off it, because that stuff can activate so much emotion, so much energy, so much vibration. And I'm saying, give that same energy to your future. Anyway, let's take politics off it. Let me start wrapping up. I know people care about politics. Sorry? Who's that?
This kind of.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so there was something you said I just wanted to hinge on earlier. Two things. The first one was about positioning or strategy, or the fact that we actually do not have control, just like you said now, of a lot of external factors, like who's in government, or whether a country is this or that, or whether there's a tsunami or COVID. We don't have control over a lot of things. But it is like riding a sailboat on the ocean. The wind is blowing heavily, right? It's like a storm. you can't see you can see the horizon, but your job is to get to the horizon. So because you cannot control the wind, what you have to control is your sail to catch the wind so that it moves you in the desired direction. So the job there is, how do I position myself in the midst of all these forces that I'm unable to control so that I still have an advantage? And that is one of the concepts of strategy. Incidentally, there's a saying I heard from one of the masters of strategy, Roger L. Martin. He said, knowledge upon which you cannot take action is hardly worth having. And you also mentioned something like that, which is quite insightful. We find ourselves always consuming because there's a lot of knowledge out there, but the most important thing is to identify the ones that are relevant to us and pursue them with some level of focus. One more say, focus is the first law of success.
Right.
Thank you, Christian.
No, and thank you for that, because using the story or analogy you gave about the boats, imagine if the sailor lets go of let's just say the steering wheel of the boat, and now starts talking about, can you see the wind? The wind is heavy. Oh, the wind. Oh, why is this wind so big? Can you see the fish, the dolphins? And he lets go. Where would that ship end up? Where would that life end up? That's what Bible talks about, being blown by the wind. Being blown away by the wind. Right? That's what happens, is that people are being blown by the news media, by the headline, by social media. They are being blown away. Today it is this, they blow there. Tomorrow it is that, they blow there. And the reality is because they've not anchored themselves and they've not set their gaze on a firm destination that they are ready to invest and fight for. That's why people are blown away. Right? People will be blown away by everything in the news, whether it's celebrity news, whether it's Instagram. They say, go here. Yo, who got married? Ooh, who got here? Wow. Best dressed. Ooh. See, listen, me too, I enjoy it. And that's this thing is so tempting. That's what I'm calling it out. It is so tempting. Listen, is it me that doesn't like HGTV, TLC, all these things? Do you think I don't like it too? You sit down, take your popcorn, enjoy, do nothing. I'm saying once it becomes an habit and once it becomes perpetual, very soon it steals your future away. These things are to be taken in, just like, everything, they say everything in good doses, right? Chocolate doses, sweet things doses. What I'm saying, even the content consumption is doses, but now people are like consuming it. They become a consumer of content, and so it's not lean. Your mind was not designed to consume the entire content in the world. You ought to be in search of the one relevant to your destination. It's like a compass. You see, that ship on the sea, it's not busy being thrown everywhere. It has a compass. It has a map. It's trying to navigate. Listen, we are all here to navigate this world. Increase your chances of becoming who God wants you to be, arriving where God wants you to arrive, that the future looks the way God originally planned it, because there are many vices that is trying to take it all from you. And when you give your time, energy, and resources, you make it easy. You make it easy. When you give your time, energy, and resources to places and things that has nothing to do with that vision, they're not going to give you your future. None of these platforms, none of them, right, will give you the future. Not even the president will give you the future we are talking about. He has guaranteed his own success. He fought for that position. You see, that's the funny thing, is that most of the people you are watching, they are the fighters. You are watching them just like sports. if you go and watch Ronaldo is fighting for success. Messi, they are fighting for success. You are going to the field to look at the fighters, the LeBron James, the Tiger Woods. These are the fighters fighting for, they want to win. I'm just saying, why don't you join? Why don't you join? Why don't you also fight a little bit? Why don't you also want to win? Why don't you also become a champion? You've got everything you need. Why are you not striving so that someday people will come and watch you too? That's it. Fight. Fight a little bit. Don't give your time easily, and don't give it a little bit to all this. Fight. Fight for that business. Give it time. I remember before I left corporate, do you know what listen, I used to work almost 2-4-7. I'll go work, come home, do family, sleep a little bit, midnight, give it hours. This future. Eventually, the future needed more. The future will always, at some point, it will ask for more time, more energy, more investments. And then you have to decide, do you stay in the past or do you run into the future? And trust me, how fast you run will determine how soon you enter, which is back to the process. So even some people will be straddling now, one leg in the past, one leg in the future. They are in between. What did God say? It's better for you to be cold or hot. This middle, spit out. You are not here, you are not there. Who are you? To follow imagine a caterpillar that gets stuck in the cocoon. Not a butterfly, not a caterpillar. Perpetually. That person is gone, it's done. Finish your process, convert into the higher version of you, upgrade. That's what my school is about. Right? That's why it's packed. It is packed. Miss Lucy is here. Do you want to come up? That school, I would love if you're available and you want to come up, come. It's packed. Just have to raise your hand. It's packed. It's packed for good reason, because we have a lot of work to do. So that's it. That's it, really. At the end of the day, the future you believe in is the one you invest in. And trust me, there is nothing too much for you to give your future. The more luxurious you want it to be. You know how, if you want a luxury handbag, you pay more for luxury, right? It's the same way. The more luxurious you want this to be for you, listen, build it well. Build it with the best. Right? Don't be doing basic stuff and be expecting don't be sowing seeds. Or one person was like telling me, oh, they subscribe to somebody. I said, what did you pay? He said $10. You are billing $10. What would this good do for you? You want $1 million, you are giving $10. Does that even add up? The principle of sowing and reaping, does it even make sense? If you want luxury car, you will pay more. Luxury handbag, you pay more. Luxury shoes, you pay more. Luxury future, you will pay more for it. You get what you invest in it. It's true, guys. These are things we ought to be coaching and talking to our kids about, like telling them, wake up, right? Because this is also part of it. Once we gift ourselves this knowledge, once we become this level of thinkers, hopefully our relationship, our community too, will start engaging, and you will pay in multiple ways. Yes, like the future is asking, just as everything else is asking for your time, energy, and resources, your future too is asking, and is even begging you, and is appealing to you. Your soul is crying. We could be this, we could be that, you could be this, if you would just give me a little bit of your time, but here's the trick though. Once you start listening to your heart, it will captivate you again. You fall in love with yourself. You fall in love with yourself again. So it's all worth it. You fall in love with yourself. And that's really ultimately is what this is about. There's the present version of you, what you value today, who you are, what you identify with today. And that future has its own value system. at its own identity. So if you don't transform from the caterpillar into a butterfly and complete your transformation and upgrade, yeah, you move into the future as a caterpillar. The same, nothing changed. When people don't change, when you don't invest and do this work today, and you keep saying tomorrow, you're going to move into tomorrow just as you were yesterday. So if the caterpillar doesn't start its process, it's still a caterpillar. And it's still limited in its productivity. It's still limited in its outlook. It's still the same person. That's why you will encounter people 2 years ago. They're still talking the way they used to talk. Nothing has changed. They haven't changed. They're still there. They're still thinking, talking, behaving the same way. You see it. But I'm telling you, when you go through a process, people will even tell you, people will ask you, wow, what happened? People will know. When you change, your world will know. People will know. The respect will come. Right? Because you can't hide this thing. You can't hide it. When you invest in yourself, your words, thoughts, action, behavior will follow suit. On that note, wrap it up. I'm wrapping it up. Join us at the Entrepreneurs Academy. Visit toyinjumesiri.academy, right? If you want to learn how to build a world-class business faster. The key is faster. You can go at it slow. For me, I serve as a catalyst, as an accelerant. I speed the entire process up for you. So join us today. God bless you. Bye. Good to see you, Miss Kabbalah guy. I'll see you.